Suffering is the crucible that forges beauty beyond measure. Pain etches itself into the soul, shaping it, molding it into something raw, something primal. Without suffering, there is no depth, no weight to one's existence. Suffering carves deep, leaving scars that shimmer like a tapestry woven from anguish and resolve. It burns away the frivolity of pleasure, the shallow facade of happiness, leaving only what is real, what is true. It is suffering that gives life its shape, that gives purpose its edge. Beauty born of ease is a fleeting thing, a flower that wilts in the first frost, a glass sculpture shattering at a whisper of impact. But beauty born of suffering is immortal. It is etched in blood and tears, hewn from struggle and darkness. To endure suffering is to be stripped bare, to have everything false torn away until only the core remains, pure, unbreakable. It is in this torment that strength is born, a strength that is terrible and magnificent. Those who suffer are not mere survivors, they are creations of the void shaped by the black hand of agony. Pain does not destroy, it refines. Each scream is a note in a symphony, each scar a line in a poem, each broken bone a stanza in the epic of what one becomes. There is a beauty in that, a beauty that cannot be mimicked, cannot be feigned. Those who have never known suffering are shallow waters, calm, clear, and empty. But those who have walked through fire, they are oceans fathomless and deep, carrying the weight of storms within their gaze. Every smile is edged with tragedy. Every gesture carries the echo of battles fought and lost, and that is what makes it beautiful. It is not a beauty that asks for approval, but one that demands reverence. Comfort breeds nothing but complacency, ease, softness. These are lies, illusions that shield the soul from what it truly is. But suffering strips away every comfort, leaving nothing but the raw, aching pulse of survival. It pushes, it pulls, it drags one into the abyss until there is no light, no hope, no warmth. And in that darkness, something profound is revealed, an essence that can neither break nor bend, fire that refuses to die, a beauty that glows not in the light, but in the endless void of night. Suffering does not create weakness, it peels back the mask and shows the strength hidden beneath. To suffer is to be reborn time and time again. Each death of the self makes way for something stronger, something darker. And with every resurrection, a new form takes shape, a new beauty that is not made of flesh, but of will. It is a beauty that comes with a price, a beauty that devours what cannot withstand its force. Those who endure pain become something else, something that shatters the fragile grace of the unscarred. They are not beautiful despite their suffering. They are beautiful because of it. There is a madness to this beauty, a rawness, cannot be tamed. It is the gleam of the blade that has tasted blood, the luster of the stone that has endured 1,000 storms. Pain does not taint, it purifies. Every scream, every drop of sweat and blood is a brush stroke upon the canvas, painting something more terrible and magnificent than anyone could imagine. And when it is finished, when the suffering is past, what remains is not a victim, not a broken thing, but a work of art that defies comprehension. It is a beauty that terrifies because it is real, because it is earned, because it is unafraid of its own darkness. Those who are untouched by pain are dull, insipid, porcelain figures untouched by time. But those shaped by suffering carry within them a brilliance, a radiance that shines through the cracks and fractures. There is beauty in the shattered, beauty in the scarred, beauty in the twisted form that refuses to crumble. For what is beauty, if not the evidence of what has been endured? What is beauty, if not a reminder that something once fragile has become unbreakable? Suffering is what gives that form its depth, its resonance. So let the suffering come. Let the agony tear through the soul. Let the pain burn away the illusions. For what emerges from that torment will not be diminished. It will not be defeated. it will be something eternal, a masterpiece of anguish, a creature of suffering carrying the beauty of a soul that has touched oblivion and returned, bearing its darkness like a crown. Human nature is a paradox of fragility and resilience. Comfort is a narcotic numbing the senses, lulling the spirit into a state of gentle atrophy. In ease there is no hunger, no urgency, only the slow decay of purpose. But suffering is a sculptor with cruel hands, chiseling away the excess, stripping flesh from bone until what remains is a being that knows the taste of survival. What one gains in suffering is not mere knowledge, but understanding, an understanding that sears itself into the marrow, shaping everything that follows. One does not learn strength by indulging in serenity. Strength is forged in the fires of agony, in the furnace of despair. It is the lesson that is branded into the soul, burned into every nerve. Those who drift through a life of comfort are like children playing at the edges of a vast abyss, ignorant of the darkness below. Only those who have fallen into that abyss, who have clawed their way out, understand the true depth of what lies within. Pain is the master that teaches without mercy, and its lessons are absolute. It takes the mind, breaks it, remolds it, each fracture forming a new scar of wisdom that cannot be erased. To live a life of ease is to remain unfinished, a vessel half-formed, untouched by the weight of hardship. Without suffering there is no urgency, no hunger. Pain brings focus. It strips away the distractions, sharpens the senses, until every breath is taken with purpose, until every beat of the heart becomes a declaration of defiance. Those who have known suffering learn more than mere survival. They learn to see the world for what it is, a labyrinth of darkness, a battlefield where only those willing to endure the fire may claim their place. Ease teaches nothing but complacency. A life without pain is a life without contrast. A canvas painted only in whites and pale grays. There is no appreciation for light without the experience of shadow, no savoring of victory without the memory of crushing defeat. Without suffering, there is no contrast, no understanding of what it means to be broken, no comprehension of what it means to rebuild. Those who have never been broken remain untouched, pristine and hollow. It is the scarred, the fractured, who possess the depth, the layers of experience that can never be taught by comfort's gentle hand. Pain is the true instructor. It speaks not in soft whispers, but in the visceral language of agony. It seizes the mind, demands attention, and imparts wisdom that ease could never bestow. One learns to fear not the blade of an enemy, but the silence that follows a friend's retreat. One learns to trust not in promises, but in the unyielding strength of one's own resolve. Pain is the hammer, the anvil, and the forge. It bends, it breaks, it crushes until the spirit is unrecognizable. And then from that broken form, something else rises. Something harder, something colder, something unyielding. Comfort blinds, it deceives, it offers only illusions of peace. But suffering reveals, it shows the frailty of all things, it exposes the lies hidden beneath words of solace. It unmasks the world as it truly is, a place of endless struggle, of conflict and fire. Those who have never suffered walk in a dream, unaware that the ground beneath them is always shifting, that the peace they cherish is as fragile as a spider's web. But those who have tasted the bitterness of pain, they walk in a different world. A world of sharp edges and clear lines. A world where every step is calculated, every breath is deliberate. Suffering carves lessons into the soul that ease could never touch. It teaches patience when comfort would teach impatience. It teaches discipline where ease would teach indulgence. To endure pain is to become intimate with reality, to understand that there is no permanence, no shelter that can forever guard against the storm. And in that understanding there is power to move beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond hesitation. The soul scarred by suffering is a soul that has seen the depths of human weakness and survived. A soul that has stared into the maw of despair and emerged with the flame of resolve. Ease fosters illusions, nurturing the idea that the world is gentle, that life can be conquered with grace alone. But life is not conquered, it is endured, it is survived, and only through suffering is the fullness of one's nature realized. Pain strips away the illusions of gentleness, revealing the savage hunger beneath. It teaches that hope is not something given, but something fought for. Something torn from the teeth of a world that would rather see you broken. Those who have known suffering are marked not by despair, but by a grim determination, an understanding that only in darkness is the self truly known. Those untouched by suffering wander in the shallows, fearing the depths they dare not tread. But those who have been consumed by the abyss and emerged from its grasp, they are something else entirely. Every scar is a testament to lessons learned, each pain a memory carved in flesh and bone. The broken become the fearless, for pain is no longer a stranger. It is a familiar, an old friend that whispers of what has already been endured. The worst has come and gone. What more can the world inflict that has not already left its mark? Suffering teaches the ultimate freedom, the release from fear, the absence of illusions that shackle the mind. When you have faced torment, when you have bled and struggled in darkness, every trial that follows becomes insignificant. It is this that terrifies those who look upon the scarred. They have become unshakable, bound not by hope, but by something far more dangerous: certainty. And that is why suffering makes one beautiful. Not because of the agony itself, but because of what is born from it. A creature that stands not in spite of pain, but because of it. It is the relentless transformation that suffering demands, the ceaseless evolution of the spirit as it twists and contorts, abandoning fragility for something fierce, something unbreakable. Beauty forged in the flames of suffering is not gentle, not comforting. It is a blade, a flame, a force that demands reverence. To those who have suffered, weakness becomes a memory, fear a distant echo. They walk with a power that cannot be granted, only earned. Each step a reminder that beauty is not the absence of darkness, but the ability to wield it. For it is in the deepest shadows that the brightest fires are kindled, and only those who have endured the night can claim the radiance of what it means to truly live.